Okay, dude. Here we go. So, we got nerdy with triads today. First, I reviewed Group 1 triads. Here's a bunch of E majors. Then you want to do three things. First, pick any one of them, and make sure you can go major to diminished. That's a very bluesy sound. That sort of thing. And then you want to work on two different facets of the triad, which is the escape note. The fifth can escape upward. And once it's gone up 3 degrees, this is now a dominant seventh because you have a minor seventh on your pinky. You've in effect substituted the fifth of the triad for a seventh, and the other voices remain 1 and 3. So that's just a very cool and creative E7 voicing. Now do it in reverse. You could keep going, although it wasn't really part of the assignment. The fifth can escape downward. Okay, do that with each triad, this one and this one. Going major to diminished to make sure that's solid, and then practice escaping the fifth upward, downward if you're feeling inspired, but mostly upward. And then you want to do the escaped octave, and the octave, as opposed to the fifth, typically escapes downward. And this produced one of the real harmonic cliches in music, used in Something by the Beatles and Over Tiltover, Lenny Kravitz, etc. Because you're creating seventh chords. And sometimes, but less frequently, it goes all the way to the sixth. So do that at each one. Whoops. Those annoying stretches make you sound different as a guitar player, so they're not to be shunned. To me, that sounds like Dave Grohl or something when you hit it with distortion. Anyways, so then we moved on to Group 2, and we worked on the Doug pattern in your right hand, which was 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm doing now doesn't sound great. This is a nice way to warm up because then you don't have to think about your left-handed at all. And we just did diatonic A-form triads with an open A pedal bass. Play each one twice. I'm just doing this for simplicity's sake. The diminished shape is weird. Okay. Then try that in the minor. Diminished is 2 now. Okay, and then you want to start to mix and match and do 1, 4, 5 series with that picking pattern. The majors you already know well. I like to go back to 4 so this is symmetrical, and then to the next one. Next one. Etc. Harder in the minor, but worth a shot. Maybe without the fancy picking pattern. Wait, what am I doing? 1, 4, 5, 4, 1, 4, 1. Okay, that was that part of the lesson. Group 1 triads and Group 2 triads with the fancy picking patterns. You can take one of these Group 2 triads and at least do the major and diminished for each one. So major, diminished, major, diminished, major. I like this one especially. finally, we talked again about the minor thirds idea. This idea of what I call pattern shifting your minor thirds, moving from one pattern to the next using a single interval. Major pentatonics and minor pentatonics both share the same feature. There's 2 minor third gaps. So by combining them, 2 from each scale, and then doing a big pattern, you have 4, and they alternate major to minor, major to minor. And then we talked about the 4 note patterns you create. Sorry. What I disparaged is kind of the amateur box. Now Chromatis has a lower voice. The double hammer-on is so easy, you might as well pick them all out for practice. You could do that reversing the pentatonic, the chromatic move. And then we talked about just hammering on half step 1, the lower voice, and then playing the top voice. That one is nice because you can substitute a bend for a hammer-on. It's a lot twangier. And then speaking of twang, the old backslide. It's the easiest one because you have an open tone. Don't get stuck to the fretboard. Let your whole hand move. And then you just want to either put on a blues, which is way more fun, or you can just put an E bass and just try to find some creative ways to move between them. Oh yeah, that was what it was, the bends. So the major second, half or whole. Same thing with the perfect fourth. Now you have to be a little bit more gentle here with the 6 going to flat 7. Half step. Okay, now you have to do a minor third leap. Here you're back to the major second. What I showed you that you probably haven't played before is 1 1/2 followed immediately by 1. Okay, then same thing here. Whoops. That's it, brother. Have fun.